Do you love being outside, getting your hands a little dirty, and maybe learning something new about the world around you? Well, you might just be an angler at heart. Recreational fishing is known to be peaceful, quiet, and relaxing, but it can also be exciting and competitive, and it plays a crucial role in understanding and protecting our environment. But did you know that there are rules and regulations to fishing? These regulations include everything from what species you can catch and keep, how many, what size they need to be, and they can differ from state to state. Although sometimes a bummer when you have to put a fish back, these regulations are in place to maintain fish populations and prevent overfishing. You might ask, where do these regulations come from? How are they determined and by who? NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, is the federal agency responsible for researching, collecting, and analyzing data on healthy fish populations. Their analysis directly impacts the regulations set from year to year. Each coastal state also has some form of a coastal resources department, and although they conduct their own research, ultimately they have to go by what NOAA and legislation dictates. Collecting all of the information needed can be a big task to take on, with plenty of room for error. It relies heavily on the reports of commercial and recreational anglers. Researchers can't just rely on what they see in the water, they also need an accurate representation of what's being taken out and from where. Finding ways to encourage recreational anglers to report back is crucial. Commercial anglers are already required by law to report back on their bycatch. That is, what they catch and discard by accident, as well as what they keep and sell. But what about recreational anglers? Currently, there is no law or legislation requiring them to report. The majority of data from recreational anglers is currently collected through a program called the Marine Recreational Information Program, or MRIP. This surveying method focuses on interviewing anglers as they unload their catch at the docks, as well as by sending them postcards to fishing license holders. So what's the problem here? MRIP was designed in the 70s. It's outdated, but it's what the federal government has mandated for NOAA to use in data collection. Because surveys are being taken by hand and through the mail, only a very small percentage of anglers are actually contributing, leaving plenty of room for error and dishonesty. MRIP can give a general idea of what's going on in an area, but it was never designed to be an exact estimate. Recreational anglers and state agency scientists have a hard time accepting the data that is reported from it, and pressure is growing for federal agencies to find a better solution. To collect better and more accurate information, the solution needs to be people-centered. It can be tedious for recreational anglers to report back on all this information that's needed each time they fish. So the solution has to be easy, efficient, and it needs to have some added value for them. Introducing Angler's Aid, the future of fishing research. Angler's Aid strives to educate and aid anglers in their fishing excursions. By simply taking a photo of a catch, built-in AI identification software informs the angler of what species they just caught, and is even able to determine the size of the fish, while built-in GPS tracks the location of the catch upon the angler's opt-in. Through the AI, there's a decreased risk of human error, and it creates the most accurate recreational data pool yet. The angler just has to take the photo and opt in. Young kids who are just getting into their careers as sport fishermen can enjoy learning more about the fish they just caught, and experienced anglers can keep track of conditions and locations where they made the catches over time in the catch profile panel. They can also brush up on the latest regulation changes and what species are in season. But perhaps the most important feature of the Angler's Aid app is the ability to directly see your contribution to the data pool. A map in the data tracking panel links the most current research to the catch the angler just made. A user can scroll through the timeline to see the inaccuracies of past data and how it's been refined over time as more users begin reporting their catches. Anglers can search by multiple different data points and can even compare how different regions' fish populations have shifted. This awareness of the impact of accurate information can over time create a culture of mindfulness and responsibility for conservation. This is a big issue, and all of the problems faced by marine fisheries conservation are problems that can be seen across all fields of environmental protection and beyond. The problems may seem big, but we can tackle them together. So let's start building a culture of responsible enjoyment of our world's natural resources. Angler's Aid is just one step in that direction.